Hey guys, welcome back to the Covenant Keeper podcast. I am Brent, as always, here with my Miss beautiful wife, Lucy.
You forgot what was?
I did.
Okay, great. We've only been together 13 years. It's all good. So, friends, today we have a special treat. Mm-hmm. Our friends Kiwana and David Thomas are on today. Yes. Now, Kiwana is the founder of Set for Increase, and I'm going to let her take it away and give us a little bit about her background and her story. So, Ms. Kiwana, take it away.
All right. Hello, everybody. Well, like Lucy said, thank you guys so much for allowing us to be on your platform. We really appreciate being able to spread, what God is out here doing. And so, like Lucy said, I am Kiwana Thomas. I am your personal finance strategist, as well as your certified financial education instructor. And this is...
I'm her husband, David Thomas.
Yes, and we are the owners of Set for Increase, where we literally are on a mission to help 1,000 families break the paycheck to paycheck life cycle, and put their money on a mission to fulfill their God-given assignment. That is what we are doing.
Oh, I love that, break the cycle of the living paycheck to paycheck, because as we know, there is a huge percentage of people living that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because only 38% of Americans have $1,000 saved for an emergency, and that's not okay. And when it's not okay, if you're not okay with that, then you should be out here on the front lines doing something about it.
That's awesome.
Wow. I don't know, how'd you come up with the name Set for Increase? So I got my ideas, but tell me how it came.
I would love to hear your ideas first.
I was actually talking to Lucy, and I had this vision in my mind, like I'm getting in position for increase from God. Now that's what I got. Now you tell me what.
Perfect. That, okay, so we started back in 2012, right? Mm-hmm. And I kind of, how God kind of gives you a name. Mm-hmm. And it was really like, you need to name it Set for Increase. And I was like, no, you kind of, I want my name to be on this. So we kind of started out as Thomas Learning Center, something so boring. And,
but I liked it. It had my daddy blood on it. I like that name.
It was the heartbeat of the family. And so we, decided that was cool, and it was fine, and we were going and shaking, and we had the stewardship program. So the Thomas Learning Center stewardship program. How do you like that long name, right? So we get to California, and TLC was taken in that type of field. So God was like, okay, how about you use this Set for Increase, like that I told you to use 2 years ago, and then we wouldn't even have had this problem. But I think it is directly meaning to set people up for increase, to prepare them for their increase, because we know we all want more. We know we all, want to have more saved, increase in our lives, increase our influence. But really, are you set for that? Are you really prepared for that? And so we're the building blocks to get you to that next step in your money or even in your talent.
That's right.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome. So now, was this something that both of you guys had the vision for, or was it something one or the other? Like
it was definitely not my vision. My wife, man, she is an architect. God speaking to her, she came with the ideas and she brought them to me, and we agreed upon it. But man, it was all mainly her through our God's will, So I take no credit. I'm the yes man. Yes. Yes. Ooh, yes.
No, but but I think it also came because we went through it.
Well, yes. It's like, we did have to go through some trying times.
I mean, a lot of
to bring
times.
forth the inspiration for where we're at today.
Absolutely.
But again, I just had to say yes. Agree. A power of agreement.
That's right.
So, go ahead, Brent.
Well, no, because and that's what I'm interested in hearing a little bit about the story. Because we always talk about passion. Passion comes out of your story, comes out of your pain. And you said you were going through it. So I'm assuming you're going through it as a couple, right? Or wrong?
Yes. You know how it seems like, man, is it ever going to be okay? Like, are we ever going to be without, are we always going to be troubled in our finances? As soon as you think you're up a little bit, then something else comes and hits you. And you're just like, when is it going to literally be great and remain great? Right. So that's kind of how it was. And out of the box with our relationship, I mean, it hit hard when he was over in Iraq and we had to live 10 months off of nothing but pure savings.
Wow.
When he came back, it was right in 2008.
2010. January 2010, I came home.
Yeah, because you left 2009.
Yep.
So January 2010, when he came home, we still couldn't find jobs. I was a financial advisor previously, and then through the ruckus of the recession and everything collapsing and crashing, I went ahead and laid that down and was like, okay, this is not bringing in any money, or was moving the way I thought it was going to be able to move. I'm not able to bless. Then he comes back from Iraq, and then he's not finding anything for 10 months. And it's hard to sit and watch your savings, the things you plan for, just dwindle away on nothing that you really had that plan for. Now, we were thankful at the time that we had it, but when you actually have to sit there and watch it, it's pretty intense.
Oh yeah, and every day you look at your savings account, you be like, man, all right, we got about a good 2 more months left. Lord, someone's gonna have to break us through. So I'm applying. We had a job offer for a place that was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And then we found out we wasn't at the top of the food chain. That's where I like to be, at the top of the food chain. So we had to bring that down.
They had birds of prey, and we were like, yeah, that's not going to work. We had got the job offer actually on my birthday of August 27, 2010. And I got a job offer. He got a job offer.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, wow, whose career is going to progress? And I was like, okay, you never really just think about, wow, do you ever want to like take a path and your husband takes a path and then we kind of go on our separate ways to try to find each other and then kind of maybe make the visits and planes. And I wasn't about that life, teach their own. So I had to take the back seat so that he could, go off and continue on his journey in his chosen career field. And that's kind of how we got started. And I think that's the journey that kind of really got us moving to, you need to look at your finances. Because when we got to North Carolina, which was where the job was, it was like, man, we have to borrow some money from our friends, which is something that we didn't think we would ever have to do, just to be able to get a place to live. And it's like, okay, now it's time to buckle down and let's be good stewards over our money. Let's take an assessment of how much debt we actually have. We at the time were living off credit cards because it was easier to pay the minimum payment on the credit card bill than the actual $200-300 on groceries. And we had a child at the time. So it's like, we can kind of stretch a meal or eat cereal, but you can't do that to your child. They need diapers, they need Pampers, they need, all their needs come first. So got down to it, made a budget, and I kept telling David, like, this is not working. We literally are having more going out than what's coming in. And I was like, the pastor is telling us to tithe, David. We have to tithe. Now I was like, tithe? What you tithe? Tithe?
Like, what are you talking about? The watch what you talking about? You said no tithe.
I'm like, tithe. I'm like, because I know about tithing, but he doesn't.
And I'm like, my thought was, we don't make enough money to make ends meet. How we take more ends off? I didn't understand that at that time.
Exactly. And so we never, ever, praise the Lord for this, we never argued about money. Never once. Now we're going through the 10 months of only living off our savings. We have always been covered to where we never had that be any issue. But then when the tithing came up, it's amazing because I couldn't get through. I would try to talk, wouldn't work.
That's when I was a no man. I was like, no. But then God made a breakthrough.
Correct.
We found a church home in North Carolina. And one day I said, Kiwana, I think I'm ready to start tithing.
Yes, and it was after I prayed. So after I just was like, I'm not talking to him no more about it. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the Father. He's telling me no. I'm not pushing because he can't really explain tithing.
Right.
But he grabbed my hand and he was like, baby, we're gonna tithe. We're just gonna tithe. He came upstairs and I was like, wow, okay, Father. So he's serious. So now it's like, be serious, Lord, you better do something. I mean, don't just leave me out here by myself.
That's
I
awesome.
got to ask you. I mean, I know we went over that quick, but how powerful was that for you as a wife? You've been praying for your husband. You gave it to God, and then he finally came. He came to you.
He came to me.
Like how powerful?
That was pretty powerful. I mean, God has answered my prayer on many occasions when it's just him and I. I always say, like, in your single life is great because only two people have to agree. Good God, all right, let's go. But when you're married, you know, there has to be a level of agreement here for it to be acceptable for kingdom covenant. So, you know, I always, even though I am a tither, I wouldn't sneak and pay the tithe. You know, we were only having one income at the time. I wouldn't do that because I felt like it was out of order. And I believe that God establishes order first. And then that is where I need to stay with him being my covering so that we can prosper. So I know that if I can't get through to him and if it was just causing way too much turmoil, then I can just take it to the Father. And I, you know, I used to, you take it to him, but Brent, this was something I didn't even expect. I was like, that's why I was like, oh God, you better do it. Like,
Yep.
we gotta be on the same page for real. You know?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and then, you know, being new at your job, you know, you don't always get the good shifts. You get the 7 to 3 shift. I think, Brent, are you pre-military as well? Yeah. So you know how you have like the shift work. So you work a certain shift, you get paid a little bit more. You work overnight shift, you get paid a little bit more. Holiday pay.
Well, that one, I wasn't in the military. I was a civilian.
Well, no, you was a civilian, but
so it was a DOD job. I'm an air traffic controller.
He had one of those.
We have a DOD job at air traffic control, so we work a lot of shift work.
Shift work.
And so by me being in training, I wasn't getting any differentials.
Gotcha.
So,
but once we started tithing, like the person who was training him started working like the evening shift. And so then he got a little bit of evenings, and then we had holiday pay pop up, and then we had Sunday pay pop up. And every single time we had those increases, we would capture them.
Awesome.
And was like, okay, God, we can do this. So, I kind of went too fast. Once he made the decision to tithe and we actually started tithing, I was like, okay, God, we're tithing now. I was like, God, do this thing. So I went to the computer, I sat down and I made the budget. And when we felt like, oh my gosh, we have 5 years and we will be debt free.
Wow.
5 years.
yeah, I remember that. I just saw a bunch of numbers. I'm like, oh yes, okay.
Yes,
5 years. At least we have a number in place. At the time, we just pay 80 bills and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But the fact that you put a number on it made it realistic. And I was like, all right, cool. All right, yes. Let's do this.
And I would be, you know, failed if I don't mention, like, God was like, yeah, use those tax returns, use that increase from the Sunday pays and stuff like that. And we're going to just work it and get it down. And we're like, yes, 5 years. And that is powerful because just knowing your number takes a lot of weight off. And then you just follow the plan. Well, 6 months into our plan, we had a meeting, child support meeting in Tampa, Florida. And long story short there, we walked out to the tune of $8,000 in back pay because we didn't know who to pay. And our child support more than doubled.
Wow.
And at that moment, it was like a crushing blow to the budget. It was like, we don't get a tax return now. They're taking the money out of David's check off top. This is not going to work. And I think that was my lowest of the low. And I know some people may feel, oh, well, you know, she's good at what she does. She's financially capable. Why don't we just get her a job? Well, when we first got to North Carolina, I did put in for a job. And I gave my very best interview. And the lady was like, I'm not going to hire you. After showing me around the office, after introducing me to people, I mean, you just had that comfortable feeling like, oh, this is gonna work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
We don't typically take you around the office if they're not going to hire you.
Exactly. Come on, I want you to meet her. And then the more she started talking to me, I guess what I can only say is the Holy Spirit showed her something that I could not see. I don't know if this lady's a believer or not, but she was like, I can't hire you because you have a light for financial education. And she says, I'm going to see that light diminish here if you work here.
Wow.
And knowing that I gave my best interview, it was like I was coming from a point like, what more could I have done? What more could I have given? So at that moment when we were leaving the courthouse, I'm like, well, this is just not going to work. So we didn't say anything to each other in the car. We kind of just turned the praise music on and just kind of sung the praise music. And you come home, you tell your family and they give their well wishes, but in the back of your mind, it's like, okay, this is not your situation that you're going back to North Carolina. And I mean, it's something that we're going to have to go through. We're going to have to face together. And getting back to North Carolina, the timing was perfect because that was August.
Yeah. And
and
our lease is
up.
Yep, we've been in North Carolina for a year.
And our lease is up was September-ish. Like you didn't have to pay full rent because you didn't have to prorate it. And I remember going into some of the worst places trying to find a place to live. I remember, I wouldn't put my worst enemy in places where you felt like the carpet wasn't clean enough for your 1-year-old daughter. I mean, she's learning how to walk and putting everything in her mouth, and you're looking at the walls and it's just like, God, but we want to stick to your plan. We don't want to veer off into the life of, well, we couldn't even if we wanted to, because it's just that's not available. And so it was like, are you going to trust me? And so I remember leaving the place that we saw that was absolutely just run down. And David looked at me, he was like, can we do it? I said, well, we can get some foggers.
Yeah, we can bomb.
We can make it work. I mean, we can get the deep cleaning going on. I mean, and then I remember just saying, God, oh my, like you have those heart prayers. Like you may not speak it, but in your heart, you just kind of like, God, that coil stove is going to warp my pots. But, that's just a small detail in comparison to what it is. So then I got back to our place and God was like, just call some more people. It wasn't right in my spirit, but I was willing to take it because you got to put your notices in.
Right.
And I called one more place and I had my list. It was like $775, I think we could pay. And as soon as you mention 3 people, they want $1,000 apartment. They want you to have 2 bedrooms. You can't have 2 people or 3 people in one bed. That's just not, I don't know how it is, but that's just not the case. So I was like, okay, call this person. And she was like, all right, well, we have one bedroom available, or no, we have one available unit. And I said, okay, I just need a 1 bedroom. At this point, I'm lying, guys. I tell the story all the time because it's so powerful. I'm down to the point to where I'm just lying. My husband is back overseas, lady. It's just me, my daughter. I need 1 room. and I have a play yard. That's all I need. And so she was like, okay. I said, so just let me know. She's like, well, I just had a unit come on the market. It's a 3 bedroom. I said, good God, I don't need a 3 bedroom. I just need a 1 bedroom. And I have a crib. So she's like, no. Well, what's your budget? I said, I'm working with $775. She says, the apartment's $880. I said, not gonna work. She's like, well, wait, it comes with free cable. I said, lady, I'm on the bare, like the shoestring budget. I'm on the bare minimum.
Right.
Like,
there's the skinny shoestring.
I said, I don't even need cable. She's like, okay, well, it comes with free internet. I was like, oh. She was like, so you can scratch that off the bill. And that was like $50. And so that was enough to get me. I was like, okay, God, let's go see it. When I saw it, my mouth dropped. Brand new paint on the walls, recently upgraded granite countertops,
Wow.
bathroom for each bedroom. Master bedroom had a jacuzzi tub. I was like, and mind you, he's at work because remember he's supposed to be overseas. So I am floored. I turn around and I told her, I said, I just lied to you. I'm so sorry. I said, I just lied. We're going to take this unit. And I said, my husband's right over here at Pope Army Air Force Base. And we're going to take this unit. She says, it's okay, sweetie. I've been where you are. She's like, can you sign 2 years? I said, oh, yes, ma'am. I sure will sign 2 years. I felt so much peace. But here's the kicker. We got into the kitchen to sign the paperwork. And it was a flat top stove. And I like to tell people that you can get excited about the jacuzzi and the 3 bedrooms, and you can get excited about the fact that we were moving from a 1,400 square foot home, and this was like 13 or a little close to it.
I think it was 1480.
1480.
Wow.
And you can get excited about that because maybe you don't have to give up away stuff, right? But the thing was, God heard my heart prayer. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to get that detail. And I tell you that God is concerned about your details, because then you look back and you say, that was God. That was God. So, and man, we got into the place, and you know, we have a long story, I know, but we got into the place, awesome. And literally God was like, this is where I want you to be. You don't have to settle when you're doing it my way. You just sometimes have to get into agreement that you're going to stay the course. You are going to stay the course, and then watch him provide. We were debt free within those 2 years, because within those 2 years, Set for Increase was born. And before we even started to move out, we were helping other people overcome their finances. Wow. That is just how powerful it was. And it's like, Lord, you didn't have me get that job because you wanted to use me. And you wanted to see if we were going to be committed to the process. Wow. And that is what we share. And that's literally why, because I think about everybody who's on the floor crying. I think about everybody who can't have their kids take a vacation, who want to, you know, I didn't grow up like this. You know, I need to be able to do better. I went to college. I got degrees on the wall, but I can't use them. And I'm sitting here looking at my situation. That's why we do what we do. Long story.
No, it is good, girl.
That's who we are and what we do. And I do it all for the kingdom.
That is so powerful. Like I almost had a tear. Like I was like, hold on, the makeup.
I was like, this is on video. This is not just on the recording, but yeah.
No, but I love when you talked about the details. Because when I talk to people about prayer, and they talk to me about some of those little details that they think are little,
right?
And they'll literally say, "Yeah, but that, you know, that's too small." No, no, never too small for God. You give him all the details and let him work.
Absolutely.
So I love that part of your story right there. For sure. I mean, your whole story is awesome.
Well, it's good. I mean, again, God gave you way more than you even asked for. Like,
oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, and then strengthened us in the process, because you know.
Yeah, because it definitely strengthened my faith, because you know, and that was, I was kind of like the doubting Thomas. I was like, I don't really know how this is gonna work, but every day I saw what God was doing, and it just strengthened my faith and my confidence in the Word, and which made me become a, you know what I mean, a
advocate or
an evangelist. And I just want to go tell people at work, hey man, y'all know about this tithing thing? Hey, you know about
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to shout it.
Yeah, and then not only that, like, you know, military takes care of military, you know, you have the family, the camaraderie. So we are civilians, I would say. But you take people at work, hey, you know, they got these apartments over here, and you want to move everybody in because it's so nice. And then no, we don't have any more left. That was our ram in the bush.
Wow.
That was our ram in the bush. And it leads to even greater just by stewarding, just by having stewardship over everything.
Wow.
To much, much more.
Well, that's awesome. I'm sorry, baby.
No, I was gonna say, because you guys had one child you were going through it with.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Today
we had
you
one
have-
child at that point, but
Okay.
as we were going through it, we was adding more babies to.
I was gonna say they multiplied.
Yeah, mother of four.
So-
Yeah, but Alicia came, I think, after
in 2012.
in 2012. She came after the process, like because, and I say 2.5 years, but as I tell the story more and more, it was within the 2 years. So it could have been I mean, I can't mark the date, but I know we were showing others how to do it while we were in that apartment. And we were, believing God for them and seeing things happen in their life. And so then Kalicia came during that time. So, I mean, I may have just 2 years. I mean, but then after that, it was okay, child number 2. We honestly grew this family with the business. And I will say we've done this all really on one income. And God has always sustained us. And he's allowed our fruit to remain even when the circumstances didn't match what was in our heart.
Well, yeah, that's what we always say is God's math is not our math.
That's right.
It doesn't add up the same as ours does. But I just made me think again about
It multiplies so fast.
Right.
when you made me think about set for increase. I'm thinking about the business, but I'm looking at your family. Like, are you guys set for increase? Because that baby's starting to grow.
No, we're good. We're good over here.
So why don't we have them tell a little bit about what Set for Increase does for people? Kiwana.
Oh man. It's my baby, man. It's powerful. To see people's lives change. If I can say, just this past weekend, and I'm going to get to what we do, but we change lives. I mean, I could get down to, we make personalized money management. We build your spending plans and we forecast it. Yes, we do those things. We put you on a budget strictly for your lifestyle. You can, learn different things, but really we breaking the chains of poverty. This past weekend alone, I had 2 clients call me to participate in their car buying purchase. Wow. And you think, okay, Kiwana, you're just here to give them the numbers and to see what they can afford and make sure they got it, and make sure they can, we get kind of, should we spend this money? But it's honestly a mindset call that I had to do both times. Look, I had to teach, and I don't want to say preach, but I had to teach. God doesn't always have to have you settle, like we just went over, for you to have more. It was, Kiwana, I've been promoted so many times. You think I can have the $800 payment? Is that okay? In certain seasons, yes, it is. In this season, God is saying, go after what you want. I see the fact that you can sustain an $800 car payment because I know we got to bring the practical. I said, but you got to understand that if you don't see yourself in another level as God sees you, then you're never going to grow.
Wow.
So it's not only just taking our families on the journey of seeing them eliminate. I mean, within the first 30 days, I can eliminate your paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. Absolutely, hands down, can do it. But the mindset shift that comes, being able to trust God because you see his blessings flow. That's what's the difference with Set for Increase. When you come to me and you tell me that I can't save, it's like a challenge. When you come to me and you tell me I'm sick and tired of living my paycheck to paycheck life, I'm just tired of it. If I don't do something, I don't know what I'm going to do. God takes those people. I am literally just the vessel. And he downloads plans and strategies to me that blows my socks off.
Wow.
So what we give, I can sit here and say the mission, or we do personalized, money managements to equip and empower, our families to make, personalized financial decisions or confident financial decisions? Absolutely. But I can't leave out the fact that God comes in and performs on a daily basis. Like cars being paid off in month 2 when they're telling me they don't even know how they're going to live. Or they come to me and they say, people always are asking me for money and they think that I got money. No, because they see it on you, but you don't see it on yourself. So you can't reflect the life that you live until God clears the clutter. And then you're able to see yourself as God sees you. So now you can move into your area of passion and purpose. I mean, it's so much more than I think I even give it credit for. And within this past year, he's literally blown my socks off through the eyes and testimonies of my clients.
That's so awesome. Like, you know what? You could just see the passion in the way you speak.
Yep.
Like,
it's God. I mean, if people often ask me, how do you get paid? I say, the Holy Spirit blesses you, and then you bless me. That's how it works. I mean, but and it's just so much fun. Our clients become literally
family too.
Our family, literally. I mean, we've been in business since 2012, and mind you, we've been started in North Carolina, Fayetteville. We went to Oklahoma City, and I had clients follow me. And we went to California, nestled there. Clients followed me. And then back to Florida, I still have those same clients. And they follow me because we are literally family. We literally, when we got back, we were over there for so long in California, it was like, oh, we're praying for your house. And, oh, you're having a baby. Oh my God, we're praying for you. And then we get back to the East Coast. And last year, we took a trip up the East Coast, just driving and visiting everything that we prayed for, prayed with them about, and being able to see what God has done. I mean, because it's one thing to, agree with people in prayer over it when you're so far away. But then when you get to see it, man, it was powerful. And that alone, secured what we're doing. My clients are the reason I still kept going after child 3, after child 4. I had a client tell me, oh, no, you're not quitting this. This is your calling. No, you just are going to just call me, tell me what I need to pay. So you get it together. So it's just all glory to God. I really don't take much credit, not to be humble either. It's just all glory to God.
But that's so powerful because it is, I love how you said it's kingdom impact. Because you are breaking generational curses, right? Because we believe we grow up sometimes in these mindsets about money. Like once poor, I'm always going to be poor. I can't get out of this. I can't get ahead. I can't move forward. But walking people through that and showing them something different. Actually, your story gives hope to people, right? Somebody's listening to this right now that's going, wow, I can relate to that. I can see that. I can see some of our story and some of the stuff that you're sharing.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking about how it doesn't stop here. Like, it's not even going to stop with your kids. This is going to go on for generation to generation to generation. And God is lifting up his people.
Well, not even just your family.
Yeah.
Like all the families that you impact.
Oh my gosh.
And they tell people. And it's so awesome the way that God works, right? Through all
the connections. Yes. I mean, and then after that, it's stewardship. And he's showing me, it's just literally stewardship. I'm so vested in pulling on him for kingdom living because I know I'm called to teach kingdom living stewardship principles. I just know it. And after our stewardship, where we thought we didn't want to deal with another house, we thought we didn't want to have another mortgage.
Well, that's a whole nother story because
but God blessed us.
Kiwana's talking about mindset. In North Carolina, my mindset was a little different because I see these houses, these new houses. I'm like, oh my goodness, Kiwana, we cannot afford this. Nope, $225,000. No. We moved out to California. I realized that was pennies on the dollar. Like, well, hold on, how much they want for these houses? So now when we look at those things, I'm like, yeah, let's get 2 of those then.
God will grow you in your mindset because when we were looking at homes, we were like, okay, this is nice. I was like, oh, I really like this. We're not spending $250,000 on our house. What you think? That's not what we do. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'm good. And, I was going to say how he blessed us with the condo.
Well, that was before. I was just giving a head,
You skip.
I-
So, but in relation to what you're saying, God grows your mindset, because if we never went to California, we wouldn't be in the home we have today. Not because we couldn't afford it. And back then, you know how they give you these big, large amounts that you can afford based off your income. He was the one who was keeping us grounded. Like, we're not affording this. So in the world's eyes, we could afford it. But if you can't afford it in your mind, or if you cannot afford it, on paper, God is going to grow you to your level of where you need to be. And that's awesome that he doesn't leave you in the state where you are.
That's
Some levels need to be done. We needed to grow not only financially, but also credit wise, because my credit at that time was just
We have so many testimonies.
Girl, we almost need to do like, this is a part 1 of 2.
I know, like, family, we have so many testimonies because God kept, but you know what? The area where the enemy gets you is your area where you're called to serve. And, if you can actually sit back and look at it, time after time after time again, you just need to probably start giving him the glory and some praise in certain things, and praise him in advance for your testimonies. Like when the coronavirus started, I was online like, oh my goodness, people are about to get ready to go through what we went through. So let me go ahead and start. Faith over finances, testimonies, giving my testimonies, who else wants to come over and build up people, because nobody who's listening to me is going to take their life like we saw in 2008 when the financial world just went upside down and people were jumping off buildings. I was like, not on my watch. At the very least, I'm going to get out here and speak about it. But yeah, there's a lot of things that come with stewardship blessings, and just knowing your money, knowing your finances, knowing where you are, not being afraid to admit it. Not, that's kind of where we started. And hopefully our story blesses somebody to at least pray, understand that, get into agreement with God's plan for your life. If he says in John 10:10, his plan is to purpose you, or he's come to bring life and life more abundantly, just agree.
Well, see, some people just need to hear that from somebody else, right? Like somebody like you that's a professional that does this, that's experienced it. People just need to hear that kind of inspiration, because some people just see their check and they're like, okay, well, that sounds good for them.
Right. And we did it with one income. 4 kids, one income. 3 kids, one income. 2 kids, one income. God always does less with more. Yeah. He always does more with less.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He does more with less. And it never fails. Literally just got off the phone with my wonderful client, and she had her whole paycheck cut in half, lost her spouse. And whereas she sat down with the company and they told her the order in which that she needed to pay things off to become debt free, she just told me, Kiwana, you know what? I'm out here telling people about Set for Increase because we haven't even worked together for a year. We're like maybe 6 months into it. And I have 4 things already paid off, and I'm making 50% less.
Wow.
Than when I had other things coming in.
Girl, that's what I'm talking about.
See, that's God though. That is God. That's how he does things. And now we're off to paying something else off in this month. I mean, she's like, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I know, it blows my mind too. But you know what? Girl. Give him the glory, give him the praise, because you're going to keep seeing it. And then next year, which we didn't even think this is going to happen this year, but then next year, look at now. Okay, now it's your turn. Now it's your turn, because when he takes us from glory to glory, it's your turn to start seeking inside yourself what it is that God's calling you to do. And you got to put feet to the scripture. You have to put feet to the scripture and begin to walk out your purpose, because it's nothing worse than getting out of where you've been and going right back to it because you didn't catch that moment
Wow.
to be able to have your fruit remain.
Mm.
And that's
Girl.
something that the ministry that I'm building within Set for Increase is how to have your fruit remain, because a lot of us can get out of it, but honey, we got to stay
Yeah.
Mm.
out of it, you know? So
Listen, girl, that will preach. You know why? Because I'm sure you guys know that the number one reason for first marriages to divorce is finances.
Mhm.
It's the money.
Yeah, it's a big one.
So teaching, I can see how teaching these principles to
Mhm.
couples will save, they
Yeah.
will literally save marriages.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
and it's going to start with it starts with a change of the mindset.
Yep.
You have to start
Absolutely.
seeing it differently, and ultimately, how God sees it. It is a tool. He wants to use it as a tool,
Mm.
and we need to hear. I know we need to hear this, and you guys are sharing it, and your testimony is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, utterly amazing. We didn't get into here about the milkshake because that you guys shared that last
I
week.
know. Oh, my milkshake.
Well, when she first started with the budget, I was all on yes. Yes.
Everybody's involved.
do
We're
it.
all like, let's go, baby. We get this 5 years.
So at work is my little time to indulge a little bit. And when I mean indulge, I mean a milkshake. So Kiwana's like, come home. What is it you bought here? I'm like, wait, you checking what I'm spending? I just got a milkshake.
Yeah, it was like, you know, because at this time, let's be real. When you are going through, you become addicted to seeing those numbers like drop.
Mhm.
Like you become like, oh, what else did I put on it? Oh, you know, you calculate the inches and you be like, okay, great. And anything you're throwing, and you're expecting your spouses to kind of stay in line and get excited like you get excited, but it was not the.
And I just drove off the track for a milkshake. But she got me back in line though. I got back in line. But then she realized that instead of that becoming a problem or a place where the enemy can work, we created a food budget for me. So I could be able to have those small indulgences if I needed. So that there was no conflict here. You know?
Right. You always want to
I was in my
peace.
feelings about my milkshake.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't as nice and smiley as he is now. But I mean, and that's why I say you don't, you know, God tells us you don't have to give up to get. He can provide for it all. He is God. So it's like at that time, I'm like, you know what? Agree. Look, peace in the home. Agree.
That's right.
Let's just carve it out. And that's why even today when we teach people about budgeting, there's going to be some things you don't, give up. What it does is a trade-off. Maybe you not get there as faster, but as long as you're okay with it and you check with the Father and y'all okay with it, what's the problem? Let's back off of the financial guilt. Let's move away from trying to fit our life into a cookie cutter plan. It doesn't work anymore. We can pass away at any time, but I know you need to pass away happy. So if you are going through this thing, you have to budget to fit your lifestyle. And that's one of the things that we do. I don't make you do anything. It's where do you want to be? Let me show you how you can get there. And let me tell you, the Holy Spirit does all that work. Because when he comes in and starts showing you how fast you get things, they tell me, we're not going to do that. We're not going to spend our money there. We're going to go ahead and put it on this card. And I'm like, okay. So you don't even have to argue. That's why you get God involved in that budget first, and you get your spouse involved, you get your kids involved, and it becomes like a full family thing. And then you just find yourself saying things that you would never say. For example, my couples say, he won't do the finances. It's all on me. It's all on me. I have to do them. Those same couples today, I only work with their husbands because they're working. And the husbands do a fantastic job to report to their wife exactly what's going on. I promise you, when finances are off the table, what really do you have to argue about? You really don't. Unless you're just going to make something up, because literally it opens the door for a whole lot of peace to come right on in.
That is so wonderful.
That's awesome.
We need people to know how they can find you, how they can talk to you.
Yes.
Like you need to give them all the info.
Well, you want to tell us what we do on Tuesday nights?
Well, we go live on Facebook on Tuesday nights. I call it Tuesday because they get to choose. They choosing to be with us. That's what I call it. It's gonna stick. It's gonna stick. Choosing.
Tuesday. All right. I thought you were gonna say you're chewing on something while you're doing it, but I got it.
Wow.
It's gonna work. I'm just gonna sit that right there. But yes, we can be found. We can be found at set number 4 increase. Set4increase.com. Our handle is set4increase. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. But a lot of our lives, a lot of the communities that we're building is off of Facebook, because Facebook is more family, and that's kind of where we are, just influencing and impacting lives there. So feel free to catch us on Tuesday nights right here at Set4Increase on our page.
So is that how anybody would reach you, is just go through Facebook and send you a message?
You can send me, I'm sorry, thank you so much, Lucy. You can visit us at set4increase.com, go to the contact us page, or click the little pop-up that comes up and let us know. I'll get the message directly and someone will reach back out to you, or you can send me a DM if you are on Facebook. That's no problem at all. I've had met many people through Facebook and is excited to share their journey. So yeah, those are the ways to contact us. Or you can call us at 321-213-9477.
Wow.
Well, I am praying that this podcast reaches the many, because I don't know one couple that does not need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Not a one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk to you when we get off.
Oh, you got real in there.
I'm just saying, because ever since we last spoke,
I like the milkshakes. If you start trying to cut some milkshakes, or
ever since we last spoke, I've just been thinking about Set4Increase and Kiwana and just doing some things a little bit different. So,
absolutely. And if I can, let me go ahead and let you guys know about our challenge we have coming up. We are committed to helping you guys save money. Look, we are no longer going to be the person who is up in age and we have not had at least $1,000. Remember, we started out, Lucy, saying that it was 38% of people do not have at least $1,000 saved in their checking account or whatever to cover a $1,000 emergency, according to bankrate.com. You can look them up. But look, okay, time out for that. We are helping you capture $1,600 without compromising your lifestyle. The challenge starts the 21st of this month, which is, the 21st of this month. 21st. So get involved, get into it. Capturing $1,600 can literally change your attitude about an auto emergency. It can change your attitude about a mortgage payment. I mean, so this is something that God gave me because I was so sick and tired of hearing people say, I haven't been able to save. So God has devised a plan to have your bills pay you. And then if you want to get there faster, so be it. But at least let's put the bills on a mission to your emergency fund or to that auto fund or to even put you on a vacation.
Ooh, I hear that.
Okay. So that's what we're doing. You can find more out about it at, of course, our website, www.set4increase.com/bingo.
Bingo. I don't know who wouldn't want to do that.
I know, it's just, I'm getting more, God is helping me be more vocal and coming out and talking about what we do more. Remember, there's levels to this thing. And so,
listen, I'm loving it. I'm telling you, people need to hear about this. So I can't wait till people start calling you. So we have more testimonies, and maybe at some other point, we're going to bring you right back on here so you guys can fill us in on the new news of Set4Increase.
Yes. So guys, thank you, David. Thank you, Kiwana. Thank you for Set4Increase. So I guess we got to get ready to be Set4Increase.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
We got a new mindset, girl.
Thank you so much for having us.
God bless you guys.
God bless you.